talking about crazy money, Kylian Mbappe. We've got two crazy money stories coming up. We'll go with one that hasn't been reported as crazier than the other one. Kylian Mbappe, obviously, been on the cusp of signing a pre-contract with Real Madrid for what seems about 3 years now. There was rumours that Barcelona were interested in him. Barcelona officials come out like they like to do and shut that down instantly. But some French journalists from La Gazzetta dello Sport said that two new clubs have moved in for Kylian Mbappe, and it could either be Manchester City or Liverpool. Why not? What? Don't give us the name. Just say it's either or. The suspense. We like that. But Matty, we've been round and round and round with Kylian Mbappe. It doesn't seem like it's going to be happen, but they always have us on that. We're always on the hook, aren't we? What if it happens? Be nice, wouldn't it?
If it happens, then it'd be mouthwatering, really. He's world class. He's generational, really, and it'd be fantastic. But if we're arguing over 50 grand with Salah, we're not going to come and pay Mbappe 800 grand a week. So it just rules it out completely. I think it's probably an agent play to try and get Real Madrid to maybe give him a bit more money or sign the dotted line quicker or whatever. But there's been a few reports in the past few days about him even staying at PSG, which would be quite interesting. I think with Mbappe, he's just physically too much money. And the downside to Mbappe is you're trying to get him from a club who's probably the richest club in the world. I think are they richer than Man City? So they're minted. I think the only obtainable team in the Premier League, maybe, wouldn't surprise me if you throw a curveball out there and say Newcastle might have threw something at it because they've got the money.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely a part of players' minds now that they want a project, not just the money. Something that Haaland's being reported on a lot. But, I've made a massive case for Mbappe joining Liverpool and why it makes sense, with Nike. John Henry did fly him in a private jet at one point in his life. So hopefully when he was older than 16. But, Louis, is it feasible, or as Matty said, is it just, agent talk as usual?
It feels that way. I mean, if this was 2-3 years ago, as St. Paul says, we've moved on. If this was 2-3 years ago, we'd all be foaming at the mouth at this hints, this, as you said, a little hook of any sort of hope that we could maybe sign him. We all thought that was the reason that we signed up with Nike and, LeBron James. That was all leading towards Mbappe signing. But I think we've all kind of come to the realization that it's incredibly unlikely, and I'm quite confident in rolling this out as just an agent trying to get some extra pounds on top of I'm sure already lucrative contract offer.
Isn't one of his demands, Charlie, to play on the left wing wherever he does go? So that probably rules out for us anyway, because we've got Diaz, Jota and Mane all in that position now.
I haven't saw that. I think the only demand that I've saw from him is he wants all of his image right, because he doesn't want to promote gambling, unhealthy foods, and something else. He's played the moral compass. But yeah, they're the only demands. I think he plays up front for France, and he's on the right for PSG now, and
yeah.
So I don't see that. I can't see a player of his quality demanding to play on the left hand side. I think that's just a stupid move if he is doing that. But Jay, we've talked about Mohamed Salah. There's no better replacement in world football than Kylian Mbappe for Mohamed Salah, is there?
No, mate. Obviously, that's a dream to sign someone like Mbappe. If we signed him, that'd come on a bollock, because that's how confident I am it won't happen. I think if you're not going to give a player who's already achieved a lot with you that type of money, you're not going to do it for Mbappe either, like Matty's already said. It's annoying sometimes, because I remember when Real Madrid signed Ronaldo for 80 mil at the time, that was unheard of. But he made it back in shirt sales within about a month, if that. So something like Mbappe, I always think, it does make sense, because his shirt sales would be ridiculous. It'd probably pay for him. And then he is going to want to eventually move to Real Madrid. So you are going to get a resale value on him as well. So I don't believe it'll ever happen, mate, but I don't see why it can't happen, if you get me. I know it won't, but I think there is reasons that we should go for it, but it's a non-goer for me. There was a fella on Sky Sports, though, when Real Madrid put the bid in, saying that Liverpool did go for him, like legitimately, but how credible he was, I don't know.
I mean, a question for you as all, like, do you break the wage structure for Mbappe if he agrees to come? You know, and we've talked about in the past, similar with how basketball and NFL do it, where the like partner of the club, like Nike or Adidas, pay a certain amount of the wages towards it. But you know, if he is asking for 600 grand a week, would you break that? You know, because at the end of the day, you're going to be getting like 200-300 million back from him when he does eventually want to leave to the likes of Real Madrid.
That's the only thing that really, I don't think it'll happen. Like what Jay said, it makes you think like John Henry and FSG are very, very good businessmen, and Mbappe to me just makes so much perfect business sense. From a terms of you're opening up that French market. He's the French golden boy. He's already with Nike, so Nike might have something to play. The shirt sales in France alone, etc., etc., etc. And he has got that resale value, so it makes perfect business sense. But I don't think Real Madrid will wait round, to be honest. I think if he doesn't go to Real Madrid now, I think he will stay at PSG and then go to Real Madrid in a few years. But if his dream's Real Madrid and they're dangling it in front of him, it begs the question as to why he's not going there. Is he asking even them for stupid amounts of money? Because he's almost 600-700 at PSG, and he's not going to go for less money. He's going to want to pay guys on that. So it's just stupid money. But it's not my money, so I'd break the wage structure to see Mbappe in a Liverpool shirt any day of the week. Any day of the week. I think if he comes, it's a statement from Liverpool to say, like, no, we're staying at the top now. And it'd be nice to see it, but I just don't think he will, as sad as it is. But from a business point of view, I can't see why we shouldn't be in the conversation, because we have got the money. FSG had absolutely minted, and FSG love a player he can resell. And with Mbappe, like you said, it's guaranteed he's going to play for Real Madrid someday. So you could sell him and probably make 100-200 mil profit.
Yeah, I think a few months ago, PSG were offering €1 million a week for him to stay, which is absolutely ridiculous. And you know, I think the fact that he hasn't accepted that sort of says something. You know, maybe he has got his eye on a certain project, and you know, Real Madrid in the moment are starting to get that long-term project with the likes of Vinicius, other players who I can't name at the moment, Mbappe as well. Camavinga, yeah, they're looking to sign, you know, Tchouaméni. I can't wait till we're not linked with him anymore, man, so I don't have to say his name. But yeah, it's, you know, maybe it isn't money related. At the end of the day, he's going to be going for over 500k a week. So, you know, 500 grand a week, you're going to be living pretty comfortably on that. So what's the difference to $1 million a week? So
the only interesting thing would be is if they agree that Salah's not staying, I think they'd sell him this summer. So then, if you sell him for 100 million, and then that 100 million fee, would that then pay Mbappe's wages over the course of a 5
for 2 years?
Yeah.
And you're getting them for free. So, and then you're selling them on for 200-300 million to Real Madrid. Then that would make a bit more sense. But I just don't think it'll happen. Sadly.
Are you listening, John?
Yeah, would you just let Salah go though to have Mbappe for 2-3 years?
I don't know. Makes you feel like a bit traitorous, doesn't it? You know what I mean? When someone's done all that for you. You know, a few years ago, with Suarez going and stuff like that, and we were crying about loyalty. You can't have it the other way as well, can you? Do you know what I mean? So, no, I wouldn't say it out loud anyway. You know what I mean?
My only thing with that is if Salah's still in this mindset of, you know, trying to get as much money, and I do think it's his agent that is playing a massive part of this, and I think he needs to sack his agent immediately. But I think if Salah's still in the same mind, you say to him, all right, look, you know, we were okay before, you know, we've made you the player you were. Thanks for the 100 million. You're going off to Barcelona or somewhere, and you bring Mbappe in, and why not? You know, have him for 3 years. You make, you know, potentially we go and win everything and the club gets, astronomically bigger in them 3 years. And at the end of them 3 years, we can say, look, we've won 3 Premier League titles and 3 Champions League titles in the 3 years you've been here. Why not stay a bit longer? Again, it's all hypothetical, but I think if Salah's in the same boat as he is now and you offer me that, I'd take it all day. Especially if he's being stuck up about his contract still. But it's all hypotheticals as
It's
as
mad
we
how
know.
that hypothetical makes sense, though, innit?
I can make anything.
Do you know what I mean? It
It
genuinely makes
Yeah.
sense when you say it's all hypothetical, but there's no reason all that can't happen. To be fair,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
John Henry masterclass incoming. Get a statue.
I do
outside
think it will be a mad summer. I think Julian Ward's going to come in and make a statement, and I think FSG want to try and get the fans back on side, etc., etc. So I do think it'll be a big summer. But like Jay said, if we get Mbappe, I probably think Balogun wouldn't, to be honest, because I just don't think it'll happen at all.
Yeah, I think we've discussed it before. I think we're all expecting at least one midfielder and at least one attacker in the summer. Where else do you improve the squad? Who knows? Maybe to get a backup right back, get rid of Gomez, buy someone else. There's a lot of options to do in that squad. But if Mbappe comes in, I'd take him on his own and see you later, everyone else. I don't care about any other players, but we move.